City 3, Liverpool 0. Playtime's over. The Blues are back in town. How are you doing? How was it for you? I think we're going to win the league, aren't we? After playing like that, I thought we were absolutely excellent from start to finish. So we're going to today talk about player performance, where that leaves us, where it leaves Liverpool and Arsenal. But first, I just want to touch on sort of the media reaction to the game. I thought it was a bit odd, to be honest with you. So I got home from the game on Sunday, and first of all, I put on ESPN, and it had Mark Ogden on it. He's not the happiest, or certainly doesn't come across as the happiest soul at the best of times. But goodness me, it sounded like he'd had a drink or something. He didn't sound very happy at all. Started off with Savinho, whatever his name is this week. Well, it's been called that. It's been called Savinho for 18 months since he's been here. So he's not changed his name since he's been here. So I don't know where he got that from. It then talks about the usual, what happens if Haaland gets injured and all the rest of it. I mean, just bore off, will you? I mean, where would City before Haaland when we didn't play with the striker? We won 2 leagues on the trot, so why don't we use that as a starting point as what City can do without Haaland? Never mind that we've got Mamouche. Les Harry Kane was the leading scorer in Germany last year before he came. So it's all very reductive, isn't it? What happens if Haaland gets injured? What happens this? What happens that? You know, did anyone say that about Lionel Messi at Barcelona or Ronaldo at Real Madrid or Salah at Liverpool? I don't think they did. And when you've got someone like that, like Haaland, I like the players I just mentioned, who score the amount of goals they score, that's just how it is. They swallow up the team's goals. And if he does get injured or suspended or whatever it happens to be, then we're going to have to deal with it. But like I said, we've got Mamouche, Foden, plenty of players to hopefully pick up the slack. But it's a very reductive argument. What happens if someone gets injured? Well, we'll take it from there, won't we? But I just thought it was a very odd take on what was a great game. And then I moved on. To the 2 Robbies, which are on, I think it's NBC or CBS. Oh my God. Robbie Savage and Robbie Mustoe. Not Robbie Savage, sorry. Robbie Earle and Robbie Mustoe. I don't know why I put myself through it. Straight away, atmosphere bores. Oh, the atmosphere is good, but it's not usually that good at the Etihad. Blah, blah, blah. Then brings up the charges. What happens if this charge happens? The charges drop during the international break and all the rest of it. Painful. Couldn't be doing with it. So that had to go off. And then it's Tuesday morning, so I put on ESPN again on YouTube. Oh, God. Steve Nicol playing to the Liverpool gallery, essentially calling the penalty award a conspiracy. And Frank LaBeouf on there jumping up and down, pretending to be upset that the Van Dijk goal didn't stand. I mean, that was the final straw for me. So that was just turned off, and I just thought it was a really unnecessary way to start covering what was a great game, particularly from a City point of view. I thought we started off really well. The penalty came on 9 minutes, but before that, Doku played in Foden. Foden fell over. I don't think he made it to match of the day. I've not seen it anywhere else, but that was a great chance if he could have got that. If he could have got that under control. I don't know why people are talking about if it was or wasn't a penalty. I sit in the third tier, the south stand. It was the most obvious penalty. You can see. I don't know why the ref didn't give it. It was 3 yards away. I don't know what he was thinking of. Anyway, we go through all the VAR carry on, don't we? And it eventually gets given, which I don't really know why they announce it. I don't know what benefit that is to anyone. We know why it was a penalty. Doku got chopped. We don't really need a referee there to explain it to us. I think that one's blindingly obvious. But Big Earl missed it, didn't he? He missed it. And I thought that might affect us, but it didn't, did it? Then he scores that header, which I thought it was a great header at the time. Like I said, sit in the south stand, and as it looped up like that, I was like, oh my God, where's this going? I thought it was just a lazy header over the bar, but then it dropped in, and everyone around me went absolutely mental. His heading has definitely improved. I think it was Spurs at home and Wolves away at the start of the season where he missed some really big chances with his head. Shadowed because he was banging them in anyway. But his heading definitely improved over the last, whatever it's been, 2 to 3 months. And then they're going to goal, don't they? They're going to goal with Van Dijk. Where I sit was the opposite end of the ground, and I thought it was a goal until the guy in front of me, Stuart, he said the linesman's put his flag up. My position with goals is that goals should stand. It's a low-scoring game. We shouldn't be looking to rule goals out. But, the more I see these people jumping up and down about how it was definitely a goal, how was this, how was that. Robertson ducked. He did duck, didn't he? He did move in front of the keeper. So, would he have saved it? Maybe, maybe not. I think complaining to the PGMOL, which is obviously the sort of thing that they're bound to do, belly aching. I thought it was going to be a goal. I thought to play this well, it felt a bit last season, sucker punch, and we're done for. But no, disallowed. Going towards half time, short corner, which I've been calling for a while, if for no other reason but to give Diaz a rest, who doesn't have to get forward. And they played out to Nico G, who had a shot, and some bore on ESPN, I think it was again, said it wasn't a great shot. With 23 yards out, it was low and hard. What more do you want? And Van Dijk, I'll speak about him towards the end of this, but what was that all about? That little wavy foot? No, not good enough, that was it, not good enough. And then Jeremy Doku, and I thought that the pass from Nico G again to O'Reilly showed a bit of composure, laid it off to a bit of skill. And then Jeremy did the rest and blasting it in. I mean, that sort of performance, I come on to players individually in a moment, that sort of performance would be giving Arsenal PTSD from, 2 of the last 3 years. They do not want us behind them. I know they say they don't care. I know they say it's in their hands and all the rest of it. To see City play like that, and I know it's different, and I know it's a different way to usually play. We're not killing them by 1,000 cuts. We're not necessarily possession-wise as dominant, but the strategy of sitting off, giving the team the ball, playing better on the break. There's a Chinese saying that I heard this morning. It doesn't matter if the cat is black or white, as long as it catches the mice. And, it looks like we're going to catch some mice this season by the look of that particular performance and other performances as well. That Villa game is looking more and more of an anomaly as the weeks go by. With that team selection, Ryan is in midfield, not Nico G. Gvardiol left back, not O'Reilly. It did look a poor team selection at the time, and again, I understand because of injuries and getting Stones in and all the rest of it. I think our best team that we have available was definitely the one that played on Sunday. So we'll go through this at the moment. We'll go through the players now. We start with Donnarumma in net. I think that was obviously blindingly obvious he was going to play. And I thought for the goal that he had disallowed, I thought he did really well. I said in the ground at the time, he used his experience. He jumped up and complained. Just complain about anything. Just complain, and then give the referee and the linesman a decision to make. Ben Foster and Shaka Hislop said the same thing today on their particular platforms about using that sort of experience of just waving your arms around, make it look like something's gone on, make it look like you're aggrieved, make it look like the referee or linesman need to intervene. If you look at the Arsenal game against Sunderland on Saturday night, great game by the way. They did the same thing. Arsenal, they were completely wrong in every complaint they made. They complained about both Sunderland goals, arms up, round the ref, nothing in it. Gets people thinking, and it plants the seed. Very much like a cricket appeal, isn't it? You got to appeal. If you don't appeal, you got no chance. You might as well appeal and take it from there. Save from Szoboszlai was very good. Flew out at least once, and he put that on their socials. His distribution as well. Like Julian Laurent talking about before he signed, his distribution's no good. You think he made it sound like he didn't have legs. But no, his distribution's fine. No worries on that front. Although in the second half, I did think we could have done with a few Edison long accurate balls. But that's a minor gripe on what otherwise was a fantastic performance. Right back, we had Nunes. Well, where to start with him? I mean, has he cracked it? Is this it? Is it? Has he cracked it? He was brilliant. If it wasn't for Doku and maybe to a lesser extent Ireland, he was my man of the match. I'd never thought I'd say Mateus Nunes would be our man of the match under any circumstances. But he was superb. Athleticism, strength, wonderful. If he keeps this up, then I will be at the front of the Nunes apology queue. Don't worry about that. I'm not precious. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm right. But wow, it's unbelievable, superb. I mean, his sort of redemption arc really from United at home last year, about 11 months ago, Brighton away this season. From Brighton away to that, Jesus, I mean that's some turnaround, and fair play to him and the coaching staff, because I didn't see it coming. Some people will claim they saw it coming. I don't think anyone saw a performance like that coming. No way. I don't think he did, to be honest with you. But no, fair play to old Nunes there. Diaz and Guardiola starting at centre half. Diaz looking back to something like his best. Is that because the back four's a bit more settled? He's got Donnarumma behind him. I don't know. But either way, it looks like old Ruben is getting his mojo back and doing the business. Guardiola, probably the only one in the team who wasn't excellent, I'd say. But that doesn't mean he wasn't good. I thought he was good. Fell asleep a couple of times, a bit sloppy here and there. But I think he needs a break, He played almost every game since he come back from injury. And I imagine he'll play with Croatia as well. So I wouldn't be against, not for Newcastle away, but for maybe the Champions League game and a couple of home games against Leeds, Sunderland, just maybe sitting him down and, letting him have a bit of a rest, particularly if Stones is getting back, and Ake might need some games as well. But yeah, I think time for a rest in the coming weeks for him. But generally good, but just not as good as everybody else. Nico O'Reilly, he's going to be England's starting left back, isn't he? For the World Cup, he's England's left back now. That little guy for Arsenal, Maitland-Niles, is it? Come on, O'Reilly. He's gone to the England squad. I'd be amazed if he didn't start at least one game. I mean, I said on Blue Moon the other day that he could be our Gareth Bale. His runs from left back, his composure to lay it off to Doku. He had two opportunities. Finishing wasn't great. We had at least one shot on target against Dortmund. He's getting in there, and he can make that left back position his own. No one was running past him. No one was shrugging him off the ball. And how he got out of the corner flag, with the help of Foden in the build-up to our goal was amazing. Salah didn't get a look in. And did you see his comments after the game? I was listening to the 9220 podcast yesterday. They read them out, and it was something along the lines of, go and read them yourself, because I'm not going to do them justice here. But he's basically saying, yeah, I thought I'd play well. I'd watched Salah and fancied it, and the game went as I thought it would. So I can't speak highly enough of this guy. I think he's brilliant, and I'll continue to say so. He has passed every single test. Liverpool at home, United at home, Arsenal away. All that's next. Champions League game. All that's next is international football, and there's no reason why he shouldn't be doing the business for England as well if he's given a fair shake. So yeah, good on him. Good on him, and long may that continue. His link up with Doku is superb. Midfield, Nico G. Rodri who? Who needs Rodders? Well, obviously we do. I'm only joking, but he's getting better and better, isn't he? With every passing game, again, sort of talk about from this time last season, he was getting taken off. No, it wouldn't have been, would it? Because we hadn't bought him yet. Not February, March time, Spurs away. He's getting taken off after 16 minutes, looking knackered, exhausted. Didn't look like he was potentially up to the pace. Looked good, but didn't look like maybe he could do what we needed him to do on a regular, consistent basis. Well, he is doing now, isn't it? I mean, his goal, like I said earlier, I've been shouting for short corners for a long time. A long time. Pep did it at Barcelona. Play. Just get it down and play. And a shot left from outside the box. Yeah, thank you very much. You shoot and you see what happens. And I was right behind it. It was brilliant. And I thought his overall play, strength, weight of passing, forward passing as well, the pass for O'Reilly to set up Doku. Yeah, what more do we want for these players? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he's superb. And he hasn't got in the Spain squad. I mean, they must have some midfielders then. Well, I'm sure they have. But if he can't get in, Jesus. And then if he can get Rodri back, Rodri there instead of Bernardo, doing that at Real Madrid away in the Champions League quarter final. Thank you very much. I mean, Rodri might never get back to his best. We don't need Rodri to be World Player of the Year, Rodri, do we? We just need him to be good Rodri, and that'll be enough. So have those two midfield together. If they can make it work, it'd be like, Petit and Vieira for Arsenal all those years ago. That sort of level of strength, physicality, goal threat, tempo setting. Yeah. I think he's going leaps and bounds, and him not going with Spain for the national team will give him a good break. And he did do it all his own though, didn't he? Bernardo was there. Helping out and generally doing what he does versus Liverpool, winding him up. Went to protect the penalty spot once the penalty was awarded, and I thought it was just a very good captain's type performance for him. I mean, not a lot else to say really. No headlines, but doing what he does. And last year, Pep said it. He always played, but he tired. But he's the only one that's fit, so he had to play. And now he's fit, he can play, but he doesn't have to play every week. He can zip in, he can zip out, can't he? So let's do a bit more of that as well. And talking of no headlines, but a very mature, excellent performance. I thought that came from Foden. Less that chance in the first half where he slipped. I thought again, there was no headlines, there was no shots really, no assists, no goals. But we well helped O'Reilly out in the corner flag, like I mentioned. His general midfield play. They were all over Liverpool, and I don't think they had much of an answer. Liverpool really. I thought they were just second best, weren't they? Because we were just so good, and they looked like a rabbit in headlights. They didn't know what to do. They couldn't get near us for whatever reason. We were first to everything. I'll come on to Liverpool in a bit, but I think there are problems there. One slight negative, I suppose, would be Cherky. I mean, we said before the game who we were going to pick, Cherky or Savio. To me, it's a much of a muchness. Both seemingly have positives, both seemingly have drawbacks. But he went with Cherky, and it wasn't a great first half, was it? Give the ball away a couple of times. He looked to me like either he wasn't quite fit enough, which is understandable because he's coming back from injury, or his head was spinning, going, What is this? I'm not playing at Lyon anymore, am I? And it looks a bit like, whoa, it's a bit caught up in it a bit more, which is it's fine. It happens. So then he come off on 50 odd. I'm glad he didn't come off at half time. I thought whilst he wasn't great, I think taking him off at half time should be reserved for people who are terrible, and I don't think he was terrible. So 55 minutes off you come. Savio get on. He helped us get up the pitch. He worked hard. I think he did that G up the crowd thing at least once, but, I'll let him off against Liverpool as the team's playing well. Yeah, it's like negative with Cherky, but, he'll learn from that. You'll go, right, oh, shit, right, I need to be on it for these games. So for that reason, he probably won't start Newcastle away, but I think he'll probably get a game against these Leeds and then Sunderland after that. And I think that's probably where he is at the moment. And maybe Champions League games as well, and just getting settled first. He's had a decent enough start. We know the injury's not helped. I think she just needs to settle in. Holland, well, I mean, the penalty was shit, wasn't it? As simple as that. I'm not going to dissect the penalty, but I'll sit right behind it, and it was pretty naff. But I've seen calls for everyone Blue Moons not take penalties. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not taking the best striker in the world off penalties because he missed the odd one here and there. I'm not having it. Sergio made me nervous taking penalties. Haaland makes me nervous taking penalties. But not everyone could be Yaya or Balotelli, can they? Or even Alano to a lesser extent. It just wasn't a penalty, was it? It's simple as that. So we'll leave that there. But I thought the header was really good until I got on the bus on the way home and someone said it was it flicked off Canate's head. Neville was making a song and dance about that as well. But I don't really give a shit, to be honest. He jumped the ball in from Nunez. Wow. And he's up. He's higher than Canate. That's what he's supposed to do. Get higher than the guy. Get higher than your marker. And he did. And if Canate heads it or doesn't, I think it was a great header. It was a great header. And he worked right up front. Van Dijk didn't get a moment's peace. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was, again, another captain's performance, which is what you need if you're going to start beating teams like Liverpool 3-0. And then finally, to the man of the match, Jeremy Doku. I mean, I've slagged him off in the past. I've slagged him off pretty recently. But, I mean, what do you do with that? What do you do when someone performs like that? I mean, he was wonderful. He got us up the pitch. He tackled anyone who fancied. He took on anyone who fancied a bit. That drag back he did. He won the penalty. He scored a screamer. I mean, what I did find interesting is the comments again for the media afterwards. So, he needs to be consistent. He needs to do this consistently. No one plays like that consistently. No one. It's impossible to play like that consistently. Scored 25-yard screamers and beat all comers? No. But again, similar to the Rodri argument, we don't need that Doku every week. We just don't need really, really poor end product Doku every week. Just somewhere in the middle. 7.5 out of 10 each week could do, but my God, that performance on Sunday was something else. I mean, he seems like a really nice guy. I'm glad it's working out for him. He's doing the business, but that was his first goal since Ipswich away, and that was in January, late January, early Feb. I can't remember. Well, Ipswich aren't in this division anymore, are they? So it was before May. So it's yeah, I mean, he needs to score more goals, doesn't he? He needs to score more goals, but I'm not going to start belly aching about that now because it's not often you go to a match you see someone play like that with the end products as well. So he was superb, and I'm not going to mention. I'm not going to go to the subs. I was a bit pissed by them, so I won't go through all them. Outside of Savio, who I thought was on for a while and did reasonably well. And yeah, but Liverpool, they look like United to me. They've got players that don't fit the system. Or a system that doesn't fit the players, you tell me. But they don't look like they like each other. Van Dijk for our goal. They don't leaving Salah leaving Bradley in the lurch. It just seems like the man doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know it. The recruitment don't seem to know what they're doing. They brought Ekatike as centre forward. Right, okay, you got centre forward. Tip. You've got Gakpo who plays in the left wing. Oh, we'll get Isaac as well. All right, where's he going to play? Oh, well, we'll worry about that near the time. Okay, we'll get Wirtz for 100 million. Where are we going to play him? Centre midfield. Oh, it turns out he can't play centre midfield in the Premier League at the moment. So we've got to stick him left wing as well. It all looks a bit of a mess. Talking of Isaac, he was on the bench. I didn't realise he was on the bench. I got there a couple minutes late, so I didn't see the teams read out. I saw a match today that he was on the bench. We didn't get on. You're 3-0 down, you're £120 million striker, can't get on. For 10 minutes, 15 minutes to run around. I just found that a bit weird, really. I know they talk about him, he's not fit, he's not in a pre-season. Whose fault's that? You're the one that went on strike, buddy. So, no sympathy there. But it does look like they've done the dough on Wirtz, doesn't it? I know it's early days, but there's not a lot to go on, is there? And they give contracts to Salah and Van Dijk. Salah phoned it in. Van Dijk was, well, I thought it was awful, to be honest with you. I know he's got a good header, which is then disallowed, but yeah, I thought they're really struggling all over the place. Being Kirk has on, for Robertson, it looks a mess. It looks a mess. And if I was a Liverpool fan, I'd be worried, but I'm not. So fuck him. Right, and so finally, that was Pep's 1,000th game, 1,000 matches. A lot, isn't it? Win rate of something like 70-odd%. I mean, if there's any doubt really about who's the best around, it's him, isn't it? But what a way to recognise the achievement of 1,000 games by Tatum in Liverpool 3-0. I thought he did really well. I thought he managed the game really well. I thought he got the subs right at the right time, got team selection right, and the tactics right. We spoke about after Dortmund that, is it a little bit, is the tactic risky about sitting back and inviting pressure? Well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But if you're 3-0 up, if you can't do when you're 3-0 up, when can you? It's a long season, so you need to conserve energy where you can. And yeah, you take a chance that they might get a chance for a goal, but they didn't, did they? And they didn't really look like it. They had that Salah one, which I thought was going to go in, but I thought Donovan did really well to sort of block the angle, and that Gakpo one at the far post where he made a bit of a mess of it. But that's a chance. You guys, Liverpool, they're going to have some chances, no matter how you play. So you might as well play like we did, conserve a bit of energy. And then it's on to Newcastle away after the international break. Newcastle away at 5:30. I'll obviously do a video before that, but would you take a draw there? I think I probably would, just to keep it going, tick over. Arsenal at home to Spurs. Spurs are shit. There are no two ways about it. I've listened to Spurs fans booing over the weekend against United, slagging off Thomas Frank and all the rest of it. But the reality is, Thomas Frank's strikers at Brentford are better than the ones Tottenham have got now. Richarlison, do me a favour. Ivan Toney on Richarlison. Fucking joking, aren't you? Ivan Toney all day long. Thomas Frank's going to struggle there, particularly if they get taken off Arsenal, which I expect they will. Particularly, that keeper after that Delict goal. I mean, Arsenal I would be surprised if Arsenal didn't score 2 corners against that Vicario. He's a joke. He's awful. How they've not looked to move him on. He tried his best to lose the Europa League final for them. So why they've kept him on, I have no idea. But Arsenal will win there. We can get a draw at Newcastle. Then we go to some home games. Leeds, Sunderland, and I can't remember. There's an away game in there somewhere. I can't remember who that is. But I think we just keep it going, don't we? Just don't lose. Just don't do anything daft. And I know it's the draws that kill you over the length of the season. But Newcastle are decent at home. Arsenal won there with a last-minute winner. So I probably would take a draw now. But if we can win, then Jesus, yeah, it's on, isn't it? It's on. So we'll leave that there. It's been almost half an hour. So thank you for joining me. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me. So that's very much appreciated. So if you got this far, please like and subscribe and put some comments below. I'm hoping to have a City fan on maybe end of this week, early next week, just to chat about where we are in terms of winning the league and competing in Europe, and the squad's health, etc. So yeah, we'll leave that there. Thanks again for joining, and I will see you either later this week or early next week. Take care.